Welcome back to the Rocket League DreamHack Championship, brought to you live from Sweden. We are here in Jönköping, Sweden. I think that's gotten better. We'll find out from chat later at some point. But we've got Flipside Tactics in the house, folks, going up against Prophecy, an underdog team we did not expect to see in the top 8, but they've made it all the way through, and now they're going to take on one of the dynasties from Europe.
Yeah, it's a team, if you guys don't know Prophecy or haven't been able to watch, they are pretty much a team made up of RLCS subs, and they're showing exactly that the subs are here to be taken seriously. They've been playing well, like you said. They weren't a team that we expected to see in the top 8, but their performance has been getting better and better. Mummy Snow, we've gotten to interview a couple times, and he's talking about their comfortability throughout the day. The more games they get under the belt, the better it's been for them.
They certainly have. How are you guys feeling so far?
Feeling pretty good at the moment, and continuing on with the Prophecy talk, I mean, yesterday they did take out Method, which was pretty much the only real surprise of the entire day, taking out Moglis and Metzenaris and a lot. That's huge if you're a team that wants to start coming up through the ranks.
And the key for me is Flarky. Lawler mentioned this is a team of substitutes. Well, he was a substitute for Flipside, so he'll be very familiar with Marky and Cuxer. He did do a lot of weekly tournaments with them. No games in the RLCS, which is where he was a substitute, but if he was ever needed, he would have been ready, because they have won Gfinities against the likes of Northern Gaming, against the likes of Mocket and Resonant and Gale Force, with Flarky playing for them. And Flarky doesn't even feel like the standout player for this team. Mummy Snow and Sniper certainly up at his level, and they are performing extremely well. Karma said yesterday that substitutes are malleable players, and I completely agree. These guys have molded together really, really well, and they're going to be a big threat for Flipside here. Yeah,
Flarky has the inside scoop there, having been on the Flipside roster. So going up here, predictions, guys. I haven't asked you guys for that very often this weekend, but I want one here with Prophecy versus Flipside. Flipside playing with Mystic now. How do you guys feel like this match is going to go?
Even though they don't have Greasy, Mystic is a player that can fill in that role. We got to talk to him obviously a little bit yesterday about the difference between him and Greasy, and he mentioned that, yes, we have similar playstyles. I'm just a little bit more defensive for this team, and I just enable Marky and Cooks to do what they do best, and that's fantastic. The ability to let these guys play at their full potential, he just sits back and kind of surveys and then sets them up. He's been doing a fantastic job at that midfield defense and just keeping it inside. You have to give it to Flipside. Like, they're a really good team. That's not going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm very happy to finally see these players on Prophecy. Definitely players that have been very quiet for the last year or so. They were very relevant during the RLCPL, but as the RLCS era started to take over, started to be pushed towards the backside a little bit more. I do expect Flipside to take it, but Prophecy, I think, will put up a fight, maybe take a game.
And they nearly took a game already today, because I was over watching Flipside practicing, and right across the other side of the desk were Prophecy practicing, and they accidentally matched up against each other in ranked mode. Of course, they would never have scrimmed each other right before they're going to play each other on stage. And I can tell you that ranked game was going really well for Prophecy. They were winning 5-2 with a minute left, and then they managed to let Flipside equalize and lost 6-5 in overtime. So
that is the most Flipside game I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
You're going to know what happens even in ranked.
Yeah. So we're hearing Flipside across the board here then?
Yep.
Flipside it is. We'll see if they can pull that one off. Always got to remember our sponsors that help put on this event: Alienware, HyperX, Twitch, Insonics, and then, of course, our host, DreamHack. Fantastic to see these sorts of events happen. I've been enjoying this. I cannot wait to come back. Also, if you haven't tried out the new HyperX headsets, they're fantastic. I have one. I use it all the time. It's like my go-to gaming headset.
Pretty nice.
They didn't pay me to say that. I just wanted to put that out there. That like I actually do use their product, and I really enjoy their headset.
So you want them to pay you to say that, though?
That's sure.
I'm genuinely considering replacing the big
Don't worry, he's
purples
going to bust
with
out
it.
his DreamHack fidget spinner later.
Okay, so they don't have a purple version. They have a white and black. I think they have a black and gray and a black and red.
The white and black one does sound pretty good, actually.
Yeah, they do. Those are the ones they're using on stage.
So, yeah, so we can color it pink. Or
Yeah,
purple.
you could color it pink. That'd be fine. Though they might actually have a pink one.
No,
I've got loads of crayons at home, okay?
They have a white and pink, I believe. I don't think that they have a purple, though. Your purple is also like a Pepto-Bismol medicine purple. It's kind of as close to being...
Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
What on earth does that mean?
It's a medicine you take. Maybe it's only a thing in the States. It's a medicine that you take for when you have like diarrhea. It's not a pleasant. It's not a medicine that has any pleasant connotation.
I'm really glad that I asked this question.
Well, we can take a look at the bracket as it stands after 2 quarterfinal matches. And we can see there, so far, best of 5 for the semifinal. The first semifinal populated there, Gale Force and Gale Force Esports and Rogue will be facing off in the semifinals. One of them will make it into the grand finals. We've got Flipside against Prophecy right now, and then we'll have Diffused and Aerial Kings. The winners from those 2 matches will make our second semifinal.
Yeah, really exciting games no matter what the rest of the day. Obviously, we've been talking these are best of 5s, but they are single elim. You win and you're in. That's pretty much doubling your prize pool, if not more. So there's a lot on the line right now, and that adds a little bit of unwanted pressure. But these guys, all these players have felt that pressure before. Scrubkilla not in the same sense, but he's still a dedicated LAN person in Insomnia. So
yes,
they've handled it. They know what it's like.
I think it's really interesting to see it, and I'm really looking forward to this one, but I'm really looking forward to the next one as well. Looking at the rosters, you would say Diffused kids have absolutely got it. But that's what we said yesterday as well, when Aero Kings did take on Method and then did the upset against them. Can that continue? We'll find out later on.
Surely it can't happen
if it happens a second time.
If it happens a second time, I am very surprised.
Maybe there are new leftovers.
I think that's what we said about leftovers beating Flipside, though. Yeah. Surely it can't happen a second time. And then they come out and knock them out in the World Championships. So
this is far less likely than leftovers beating Flipside. Flipside are not having a consistent Season 3, and now, but even after Season 3, still not looking that consistent, dropping a game yesterday to Bob's Beans off stream. So all that, I feel like we're more likely to see an upset here, Prophecy versus Flipside, than Aero Kings versus Diffused Kids. But we're about to find out how this one goes. Flipside taking on their substitute Flarky and his team of all other substitutes. Shogun, we both have Flipside taking this, but not as easily as people might think.
No, certainly not. This is a team of players that have been around for a very long time. Marky Duda. Okay, I'm going to say a sentence here that I never thought I'd say. The Doomsy Dish dunk. Incredible.
This is one of the luckiest goals I've seen all tournament. As he just wanted to center that ball, and then as he's finishing his dodge, his car ends up hitting the ball a second time. It's a little bit of a misplay, though, from Prophecy to hit the ball straight towards Marky, who was spiraling central. 1-0 for Flipside. Very early in the game, though, and now we do get to see that Doomsy Dish attempt from Mummy Snow getting shut down this time.
That time. It's going to be an opportunity, and we'll go back to the point you were trying to make beforehand as Flipside tried to increase their lead by even more. In fact,
there's the tie
great
game.
Response by Prophecy, leaving someone downfield, and Mummy Snow, he only got to play during two games during the entirety of the RLCS, trying to make a statement with this new team that they can make next season and that they can challenge these top teams.
Well, I talked to Flipside about this team Prophecy that they have to play against today, and they are not taking this lightly at all. They know that Flarky can play at the top level, as he was their choice for substitute in Season 3. And of course, Sniper Kid, formerly in a top 4 team in Europe as well. And then Mummy Snow is sort of the question mark for most people, but he's such a mechanically gifted player. He just sometimes finds himself in awkward positions. Hopefully that won't happen for his sake. Right now, he's got a goal to his name, and a good one at that. Tie game here.
The thing is,
game 1.
Sniper Kid never really dropped out due to a lack of skill. He just sort of stopped playing a lot less during one day. I believe it was due to academics, although I cannot confirm that. But
yeah,
he looks
some
to be
team
back.
problems and some real life issues, but he's definitely on form now. I have been very impressed with how he's played this weekend. His solo plays have definitely been on point. Mummy Snow and Flarky focusing more on the team plays. Oh, Coxer to the crossbar. This is a shot for the new player here, Mystic. He is trying out with Flipside here, and so far seems to be filling the shoes that have been left by Greasy pretty well.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be a case of Mystic is phenomenal on that third, but this team right now, Team Prophecy, are not really anticipating just how well Flipside Tactics can hit the ball as we see the fake kickoff coming out. Marky Dula will look for Coxer. This will be beautifully done, but is not turned into the net. That is probably the closest I've seen to a fake kickoff scoring in a very long time. Prophecy tried to turn it in, but they tried to do it so quickly after the kickoff. Too low on boost, could not get a proper flick. And that will be easily saved by Flipside, but still caught in their final third. Eventually, Mystic will hope to get out. He's got 42 boost, will manage it, and they survive.
Flipside have to be really careful in that corner, though. They do have a tendency to get stuck in a big group in their own corner. And if they can allow Prophecy to box them in, it might cause problems as this series progresses. They do escape the first occurrence. And we've had a couple of close shaves in and around Prophecy's goal, but no one is there for Flipside either time to finish the shot, so we're not really too worried about this scoreline increasing for the time being.
Yeah, Prophecy have had a slight issue with over-rotations at times, leaving too many players forward. And there's little touches that can tear your rotations apart even further. As Flipside Tactics still hold onto the lead. Mummy Snow, two players sent for that. That is going to be at least safely put towards the top of the roof, though. So they will be safe for the time being. Now Mystic, free boost. Try to get something going, but Cookseer will have to react. 2 minutes remaining, and you can now see Prophecy. They are starting to go for boost steals. That one in the back right is gone, and they will now go for the siege, starting to set it up. Cookseer has to try and go for a flick. He's pulled out Sniper. Well played there by Flipside Tactics. They have managed to just about squeeze out of that situation.
Yeah, Flipside are doing a reasonable job in their own defensive corner so far this game. Although getting boxed up together closely, a little bit too much for our liking. They have escaped without allowing a shot on their net, or at least an easy shot on their net. Oh, Cookseer is going to go for the ground shot. He's never really going to be able to fake out the Prophecy defender in that position because he was directly opposite him. Cookseer end-to-end back in the defense already and helping out with the clear ball situation. And Marky read the ceiling. No, he cannot. This is an awkward situation now for Mystic. He does well, though, popping the ball into a very difficult position.
I feel like Prophecy just need to start pulling out their rotations a little bit, open up that V rather than going for the L style of rotation, because every single time Flipside Tactics want to get rid of the ball, they only really have to beat one player, and then they are completely home free, rather than waiting on the halfway line and going for a challenge. There we are, shot towards the Prophecy end. A third goal would be huge for Flipside as we head into the final 40 seconds. Prophecy, they need to get something going here.
It's not the first time that Mystic has left ball cam off for an aerial. People are wondering, why is he doing that? It's because he wants to see what's happening immediately in front of him and just reads the position of the ball based on timing and the ball indicator on the ground. He seems to have pretty good ability in that regard. With only 15 seconds left, Prophecy down by a goal. They've had chances, but the double commits have plagued them a little bit too much this game. Flipside very much in control of this one.
Yeah, we're going to head towards the end. Prophecy are low on boost overall, so they will try and take up the wall. Instead, immediately hitting it off the side, and that is going to end it. Prophecy needed to take it up the side wall so it would keep the ball off the ground. Instead, just tries to boom it out of their end, and that will hand this first game over to Flipside in a pretty tame game from both these squads.
Double commits on both sides, both in defense and in offense. So that is one thing that both teams can improve on going into Game 2 and further into the series. We have to remember, though, this game started with a pretty lucky goal for Marky, and it finished off with a 1-goal difference. So that being said, 1 goal each in deliberate passing midfield play. And it was probably the better goal on the hand of Prophecy with a great counterattack, and Mummy still getting the finish.
Almost looks like a case of confidence right now for Prophecy once we get into the tighter parts of the game. Looked very fluid, very free in the opening 2.5 minutes, but once we got down to the nitty-gritty, just closed themselves in, only sending one player to the offense at all times, and it just simply does not work. The majority of players on Flipside can beat you in 1v1s, they can read the play very well. That is not the way you go about it. As you mentioned earlier, the way they scored cutting infield passes. They need to, and they need to catch Flipside by surprise.
If anyone is going to be making those interceptions, it will probably be Flarky. He knows that Marky and Cox love to play that style. They love to just ignore the back wall, hit the ball straight into the middle of the opposition box. You see Marky there with the scar from yesterday where he fell over in the venue, hit his nose on something. No surprise there, Marky. Quite a clumsy old fellow. It's a shame we didn't catch that on stream. I'm sure you guys would have enjoyed that. I know I would.
Yeah, Marky dude has more control over his eyebrows than he does his feet.
It's not wrong.
But we are going to get ourselves into Game 2.
But the smart kickoff by Flipside, losing intentionally to the back and then getting the passing play started. It does get immediately broken down, but showing intention to maintain possession right from the get-go.
So Flipside Tactics. I've got all 3 players right together. Sniper and Flarky, though, have both committed, so a domino effect of failures, I think we'll go with there. As Prophecy will look to try and work their way back into this game. Honestly, Johnny, what do they need to change right now? Because it just seems like they are almost playing completely reactionary to Flipside tactics rather than trying to create their own opportunities.
Like you said, if they feel like they can't play at the pace that Flipside are playing at, if they feel like they can't beat Flipside to the ball, or at least get 50-50s at the worst, then they'll probably have to play a little bit more well in terms of reading Flipside's plays, try and intercept them, try and get ahead of the game in position before the ball arrives there. Because right now they are sort of, like you said, playing reactionary, waiting to see where the ball's going to go and then trying to get into position after the fact.
Well, a defensive style will not be available to them, especially not with this man right here, Mystic, holding the background area. He's unlikely to make any mistakes, so you can't expect Flipside to overcommit.
Yeah, we did talk before the game about the differences between Mystic and Greasy. I think for me, one of those differences is Mystic is far more willing to sit back and let Marky and Cux do their thing than Greasy was, who's eager to get forward all the time. And of course that could work wonders because a player like Greasy is so good at getting forward, so fast into the air. Mystic, although he is another fast player, is also willing to just sit back and be a little bit more of a supporting role. That's a difficult shot, actually. Marky does well to pass that towards Cuxer. Good passing by Flipside out of defense. 4 consecutive hits, and now forcing the save out of Sniper.
It's that ability the Flipside have on all of the players, not necessarily waiting for the best touch, they make the best touch out of the situation they have. Which is an issue a lot of players have, and that is a lovely open pass by Mystic.
By Mystic.
Defensive
Where did he come from?
Defensive wall.
The unbeatable wall Shogun.
The unbeatable wall. I hand you my crown, my friend. As Mystic now finds himself in the corner. Looks to go for a fake. No, he fakes it out entirely. Can't quite get it past the second player. Mummy Snow will just be happy.
In Prophecy End. Everybody flailing at the ball, and it really isn't looking too pretty. Can they finally get the breathing room that they need with a hard clear? No, Mummy Snow will continue on Sniper's soft clear, though, and that will give them some space to collect boost.
Do not, just because he's playing that style, write off Mystic as just a defensive player.
Oh, not
He is great all across the field. Cuxer is going to put that one in. Flipside tactics, they are just controlling the field.
Marky nodding in appreciation. He didn't have vision of Cux there, but he knows that that is where the Italian will be. These guys love to move up in alignment, and that pass perpendicular to the side wall finds its way to the back wall. And underneath the crossbar, Cuxer rarely misses from that range, and he is shooting well today. 1-0 Flipside. Prophecy really need to up their pace or get better at reading what Flipside are doing if they want to have a chance to win this series or even take a game at this point.
They are just trying to react at this point in time, and that is meaning that they are always
Flipside all in retreat,
one
though.
step behind. There is an opportunity shot on the net.
Demo.
There is a boom, but it's the wrong one for Prophecy, taking out the final offensive player. If it was the other way around, we were almost assured a goal. Now Sniper tries to play it down. Has he overhit it? He hasn't even got the boost, but he can still manage to keep it going. Sniper did a lot with very little right there. We head into the final minute and 20. Flarky is going to leave that one for Sniper. As here comes the pace play from Prophecy. That pass is not going to find anyone because it was actually more of a shot. I couldn't quite tell. It was very slow moving.
Awkward though for Cux and Mystic. They had to help each other out to get that save, as both of them coming together in the middle to get an angle that neither of them would have been able to find individually. But now we're in the final minute. Prophecy desperately in need of a goal. They have only scored 1 in the previous game and none this game, and they have not looked threatening apart from one incredible save from Mystic and another demolished by Mystic, who has really looked solid for Flipside in defense today.
Flarky with the side flip could have had an opportunity from that infield pass. Final 35 seconds. Prophecy once again find themselves down as Flipside tactics. Very different style of play from them. They seem to have played from the back up, and then as soon as they have an opportunity to go into offense, they're sending all 3.
Right there we see trust from Marky in Cuxer, who was in the net behind him. That's really good to see from these guys. Something that they sometimes do wrong is the lack of trust in their goalkeeper, who has a better position to clear the ball, but there Marky leaving the ball for Cux. Comfortably getting it clear, but now Marky missing on the side flip. Post saves them. Prophecy really should have been tying the game here because Marky missed his side flip. He accidentally front flipped and whiffed the ball. It bounced center for free. Surely now we will see 2 games to 0 for Flipside in a series that should absolutely still be 1-0 in overtime game 2.
That was massive.
Very, very fortunate.
Huge opportunity there. Very scoreable indeed. post and out. Flipside Tactics take game number 2, and if they win, they will head into the semifinals and take on the winner of Aero Kings and Diffuse Kids. There's a couple of very tasty matchups in there indeed, but they need to finish off the job. Prophecy doing much better that game, looked a lot more up to the pace of Flipside Tactics rather than just holding themselves back and hoping that they could get something going, because going coast to coast is very hard to do indeed. Now, the finish. That's all they need to find.
Well, they didn't double commit really that much this game, which we called them out for in game 1, but they didn't really commit at all, is the problem. And sometimes it's better to send 2 people than none, because if you don't send anybody, people like Cuxer are going to get free shots, and then you're going to lose the game 1-0 because you hit the post with 7 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's something that Sicky is very good at as well. You see him double commit more than you think, but it's a case of he knows what he's doing is the correct thing to do. So he doesn't quite care the fact that his teammate's going for it. He knows for a fact that what he's doing, if he's committing to it, yeah, I know you're doing it, but I'm going to do it better.
The key is if you can at least guarantee a hard win on the ball, and not only that, guarantee that you can put the ball in as safe a location as possible to not only allow yourself to recover and get boost, but also to allow your teammate, who you know is also committing to the ball with you, to recover and get boost. Like you said, Sicky is phenomenal at that, often double committing to the same ball as his teammates, but landing on walls. That is the key. Never double committing by flying away from walls is often a misplay, because you have to fall back down to the ground like a snowflake. But if you can land on the wall and quickly get back into the play with speed, it is definitely much better. Oh my word, Cuxer! You can see Marky just shaking his head with amazement as Cuxer finds an almost impossible angle. How does he do it, Shogun?
Well, he has ridiculous mechanics. One of the top 2 Xiaoyu players in Tekken 7 might actually be attributable to his reasoning why he is so quick on his fingers, so good at button inputs. Because in there, he's got to work with 2 or 3 frames. This time, he can just work with his timing on the ball. Definitely transferable skills between games.
I would love to see Cuxer playing both Tekken 7 and Rocket League at one event. Maybe DreamHack Atlanta, you never know. He is top 100 in Tekken 7 at the moment. And
maybe not Tekken 7, that one's only just come up. I know it was Tekken in general.
He is top 100 in Tekken 7.
Of course he is, because it just came out.
I saw a screenshot on Reddit and also Twitter. Cuxer is already that good. And there we go, infield pass. Do we even need to say it? It's
well, we could
the classic,
look at Mummy Snow's
the Flipside classic.
Failed jump towards the end.
Although Gale Force might be doing that better than them so far, or at least more often this event, Flipside really pioneered and perfected that strategy.
Here's Marky putting it down.
Cooks,
yet again, this duo has been off the chain so far. This opening minute not only belongs to Flipside Tactics, but it belongs to the longest standing duo in Rocket League history, Marky Dudar and Cuxer. Mystic is just a glorified spectator at this point.
But is that even a problem?
That is not, that's probably his favorite thing right now.
Mystic for not committing forward, not trying to force his way into these plays. He's just sitting back and not hardly putting a foot wrong. He completely saved Marky and Cuxer in game 2
if you were to play
a goal line save and a demolish on the goal line not long after. I haven't seen him really miss anything in defense.
If you were to play any game and just be on the back rotation and your teammates scored, you'd be beaming ear to ear. And Mystic will be doing the exact same thing. And there's Mystic, proving that he's not just a pretty face. Puts that one in, 4 goals to the better, and Prophecy are looking outclassed.
Mystic wanted to remind us all that he does like to score boomers from high up in the air. 4-0, Flipside emphatic in game 3. They might have got a little bit of fortune to get here so easily, but they're definitely looking like the better team right now. Passes are connecting. 1, 2, and 3 gets denied. This time Mummy Snow with a crucial interception, but is it too little too late? They've allowed Flipside so much time and so much space, so much boost, and so much ability to do what they love to do best. And now with confidence, Flipside continue to aggress.
Flipside have just got better and better with every single game that we've seen so far. First game, double commits. Second game, no double commits, very strong standard play. Third game, this has just been on a whole new level. Marky Dudar is actually going to get bumped there.
For once, Mystic creeping forward, a little bit close to Marky, but Cuxer to the rescue. We have to remember there is still a long time left in this game, and Prophecy themselves had a resurgent performance, or a surging performance in game 3 yesterday, which was a best of 3, where they were able to score, I think, 4 goals in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Could they do it again? I think it's possible, but they need to get started sooner rather than later, because they're struggling to even get a shot to materialize right now.
Yep, this ball has just been glued to the Prophecy half. Mystic is going to start rotating back. He's actually turned around there, and that's going to open up the space.
Mummy Snow spots the passing play, and he makes the run downfield. He's already flipping past the midfield to get into position, and credit to Flarky for spotting him do that. So there it is. Just over half the game gone. Finally, we have Prophecy on the board. Flipside need to be careful not to give Prophecy too much space. If they can get another goal, these players might get the confidence that they need to find more chances to score, but oh, that's not good. Mummy still takes the ball away from his teammate.
So currently, 3 goals separates these teams. Flipside Tactics are going to make it back to 4. Mystic highlight reel plays from the man from Scotland. And he is going to be very pleased with that. Cuck's trying to take it away from him.
This time, who was just there along for the ride. That's the second time this game, actually, that Cuxer has just flopped past the ball and allowed his teammate to score. First Marky, now Mystic. He doesn't seem to be too bothered by that, though. Cuxer looking very happy today. This is very different from how they looked at the RLCS line when things were going badly, and even when things were going well, they did not look this happy. So it's good to see the boys enjoying themselves on stage. It's been a while since that has been happening. With 5-1 on the scoreboard, I really feel like this might be too much of a hill to climb for Prophecy. The 8th seed coming into the tournament will probably be finishing 8th.
Mystic is looking like a solid fit right now. Having him in that 3rd role, especially when Marky Dudar and Cuxer are playing at the level they are currently at, finding each other as quickly as they are, and then having Mystic come in with some phenomenal decision-making and solo plays. That is the recipe for a very solid Rocket League trio, as Mystic once again just takes up the ball. He's going to waste the time, force someone to come towards him, and then beats them, and then forces 2 players to commit from Prophecy. That is exactly what Mystic brings to the table: patience and smart gameplay.
Yeah, Mystic, a very, very supporting player. He has been able to be successful in multiple rosters, and it is no surprise that he is slotting in well today, although it did take a little bit of time for them to take it seriously. Cuxer, not the best hit there, though, it has to be said. Cuxer, although they are winning 5-2, has looked a little bit sloppy in this 3rd game. We saw him, faking the ball before Marky's 2nd goal, and then again faking the ball before Mystic's goal for 5.
Woody would be very proud.
And again, another whiff from Cuxer. This is not looking good for him. He'll definitely need to make connection with the ball more frequently against the likes of Diffused kids who may await them in the following round.
Mystic takes that shot, but that's going to be bounced straight off Sniper. Prophecy have certainly shown us some glimpses as to what we can see in their future. Definitely could do it with a little bit more time in the oven to work out some of the kinks, work out their ability to rotate around the field, and just figure out what they want to do whenever they do get stuck against a team like Flipside Tactics that is able to just work the ball around, control it, and find each other so quickly with these passing plays.
Mystic, ignoring the back wall, knows Marky's waiting in the middle. Another player that loves to do this waiting in the middle strategy is K-Dop, and Mystic, of course. Just recently grand finalist at RLCS Season 3 alongside K-Dop, and K-Dop being the main scorer for that team. I'm sure Mystic is used to trying to service that position. So it will not be difficult for him to transition into that role for Flipside team here at DreamHack. And now it's just turning into an extremely one-sided affair. Not the greatest clear from Prophecy, and Flarky hiding inside the goal like a turtle hiding his head. Unable to emerge in time to block that shot. 7-2. Is there really anything more that needs to be said here, Shogun? Flipside moving on to the semifinals.
Probably the biggest thing right now for Flipside Tactics is Marky Dudar's shooting. He was looking really out of touch, really out of form during the RLCS finals. This time around, every single time he's found, and trust me, I'm going to give a lot of credit to his teammates. They have given him phenomenal passes.
Oh,
but
no
he
way. Oh.
has been making them stick. Flipside Tactics are going to take this win. They're going to take it convincingly. And now, Wavepunk, you're going to take it from here.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. We can do it that way. That sounds good. Flipside very strongly coming out. First 3-0 of the day. First game looked decent there for Prophecy, but then games 2 and 3, it was all Flipside. Strong, strong win here.
No, Shogun said it perfectly. The team, as time progressed, got better and better. They cleaned up. Game 1, they were plagued with quite a bit of double commits, and it caused a lot of issues. 1 goal score line. Same thing with game number 2, though. Game 2 was only a 1-score difference. It was just the difference in pace for this team of Prophecy. They sat back. They didn't pressure. There was a lot of times where you saw a lot of players, Mummy Snow included, where they were just sitting there waiting for something to happen rather than going and challenging and trying to create opportunities. Something that we saw Rogue have to do themselves. They created opportunities, and that's why they were able to progress through. After they lost that second game, it looked like they were just completely defeated, and then we saw the real flip side, just one after another. Even with Cookser missing a couple of those touches, it didn't matter. Mystic just brings that extra element, that slow pace. You saw him go up on that back right corner. He didn't even touch it. He just let it go back down, had somebody commit, and then beat everybody out. It's a really good dynamic for this team. It opens up a lot of options.
Karma, you were watching that match from the behind the scenes. How did you think about that match?
I thought it was really good to see how Mystic fit in on Flipside. Gosh, that was a tongue twister.
Happens.
Because, as I said before, they haven't really had the toughest bracket in terms of like facing other pro teams. They've kind of been facing pickup teams and bubble teams along the way. So as this bracket continues forward, I'm more interested to see how teams like Gale Force and teams like Flipside compete with the new positions on their roster.
Yeah, we will see them going up against the winner of Aero Kings or Aero Kings versus Diffused. And most of us would lean in the Diffused camp here, but Aero Kings did surprise us yesterday. I mean, method, anything can happen, so they will have to figure out what they want to do in that match. Be looking forward to definitely be watching this next match to figure out who they're going to be playing against. But big part of that win there from Flipside Tactics was Marky Duda, who's going to he's going to take the Pashy seat. It's all the way down. It goes up. It might slip down on you. I'm just saying. The chair's been doing that a bit. How you feeling, bud?
I feel okay. We played really well in that last game. It was fun. Yeah.
I need to hear the story about your nose.
The back of the stage is a bit dark. There's a big gap there, and I fell off, knocked like a light, and the light came and hit me right in the face.
Oh my goodness!
So that was good. And I like stood up, and this guy's like, "Are you okay?" And I passed out head first in his lap. So. Yeah. So I woke up in a strange man's lap, not for the first time.
Well, I'm glad that you managed to make it through that one, survived, and you're here now, playing in top form, scoring plenty of goals. Talk me through this match. How did you guys feel in this one?
Well, we were the first. We were confident, of course. We were very confident. We know the other players well. We've played them plenty. We beat them in ranked. We queued into them right before the match, and we felt confident. We were a little bit shaky in the first couple games. Like we were rotating well, we were passing well, but couple whiffs, couple not so well placed hits. But then we'd warmed up by the last game. I think that was like true flip side that last game.
Now we've seen a difference too. We talked about a little bit. Your performance at LAN, like shooting wasn't always the best. There was a couple missed touches. That seems to be changing. Like you had a lot of accurate shots this past series. Is there any big difference as to why that is, or just playing with confidence?
I'm not sure really. You know, sometimes you just have those days we don't play well. I have plenty of those days where I don't play well, and I guess 2 games up, you're feeling comfortable. You were a couple goals up early on, so. When you're feeling comfortable, you just go for your shots, and it worked.
Do you think that playing, or can you, as you slowly slide down from me, can you explain maybe the differences that you and Cuxy are adjusting to playing with Mystic as opposed to Greasy, or do you think that they're relatively...
Greasy versus Mystic. We want your thoughts on Mystic right now. How's he doing?
Mystic's...
You can stand if you want.
Just stand by your spot.
Mystic's a really likable boy. I've played with him plenty, so there wasn't that much problem with chemistry. He's quite a similar player to Greasy as well. Like it's not been much of an adjustment. He plays very similar to Greasy. We've both already played with him quite a lot, so like he fit in very quickly. Yeah.
Thoughts on the rest of the tournament? How are you guys thinking this one's gonna go?
I think we'll probably be the favorites. Like, obviously, Gale Force are tough, but I would be pretty disappointed if we lost to Niels Cock and Scrub and Pashy. They're good, but like they're just a pickup team, and not much tournament experience. Well,
as a roster,
not as much. Yeah.
I mean, despite you saying that, obviously, I assume you guys are gonna go in with a serious mentality. Like they're all really talented players.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna go in serious, but I think. We're the type of team that plays much better when we're enjoying ourselves, so we're going to be like flopping about and like
singing
making
Italian
noises,
songs again.
Yeah, singing. Plenty of Italian songs, plenty of Italian swear words.
What Italian songs is your go-to?
Well, metto le mani en alto spesso. That means I throw my hands up in the air sometimes. So there you go.
Nice. So you're singing American songs in Italian?
Yeah.
Okay, that's even better.
That's even dumber. Yeah.
Oh
as long as you guys are having fun.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying DreamHack?
It's been good. It's been interesting. We had a nice cut through the BYOC area. That's pretty horrible.
Did you guys ever get that coffee you were looking for?
Yeah, we got the coffee. Yeah, it's been fun.
Cookster got his 5 extra shots of sugar or whatever that does.
Yeah, but it's been fun. Like, there's not that much good food at the venue. It's pretty poo food. So.
There's some decent restaurants in the area, though.
There's some good restaurants in the area. The hotel, the Scandic.
Did you try the Tex-Mex place?
No, I haven't tried the Tex-Mex
Okay,
place.
good. I still have yet actually to get over there. As soon as this broadcast is over,
It's
I'm
probably
gonna go
terrible.
try it. But I just want to say that I tried Swedish Tex-Mex food. That's what I want to do. So, any shout-outs you got or anything here, man?
Love you, Flark. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. Good sportsmanship there, calling out the team that they just knocked out, and that will be Flipside. Will continue to move on. We will see them play a bit later on, but first we got to get through the final quarterfinal. It's gonna be Aerial Kings going up against Diffuse Kids. Gonna be a great match. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.